Now, in this lecture, we will show you how to edit and create contacts in Business Central. You will also learn about different types of fields and how the system saves data and how to avoid errors. You will also see how to change the name, the address, and company of existing contact and how you can create new contact with a unique number. So let's just go ahead and have a look. So, as we discussed in our previous lecture, to go to contacts card, we can go to the contacts list. And over here, we can go to the record that we wish to open. And we can either click on the number or we can click on the assist edit and we can go to view or edit form, right? So, let's just quickly go ahead and click on the number to open the card form for Iron Debris. Now, obviously, in our previous video, we covered the card page layout. So you know that, what these buttons do at the top, how the page layout is, and how the information is displayed under various fast tabs. And then you also have a fact box on the side. Now, let's just go ahead and try to see, how we can edit the contact form. To be able to edit the contact form, you need to make sure that the form is in edit mode. If the edit button is not circled, that means you are seeing your data in the view mode. That means you cannot edit any data over here. All right. So it's important that you are in the edit mode. Now, one of the key concepts of Business Central is that the system saves data automatically. Now, if you have a close look at this page, you will see that there is no save button, right? No explicit save button like you see in legacy systems. And this over here just provides an information that the data is saved. It is not a button that you can click on. One of the key concepts of Business Central is that the system saves data automatically when you leave a field. That means if you're editing a field and if you tab out or you just leave the field, then the data is committed into the system. That means it's saved into the system. So this means that you don't have to click on save button anywhere. All right, so let's just go ahead and edit the name field of this particular contact. So we'll say I am James Debris. Okay. Now you can see that the record is not saved yet, right? Because at the top you will see it's still Iron Debris. Now the reason it's not saved is because I have not moved out of the field yet. It thinks that I'm still editing it. All right. So my cursor is still blinking in that particular field. Now, to be able to save this, I need to move out of this field or I need to tab out of this field. Okay. So either I can click somewhere else and on some other field or in a blank area. So that will move out of the field and the data will be committed. Or the recommended way is to click on tab button on your keyboard and it will tab out. So if I click on tab, you will see that I have moved out of that field and the data is now committed and you can see the changes over here, right? So that means the data is now saved. So you need to make sure that you leave the field properly. Otherwise the data will not be saved, right? So you can leave the field by clicking somewhere else on the page or by clicking on another field or by pressing the tab key as we saw in this example. All right, so let's just put the name back again to Anne Debris and click on tab. All right, so now you can see that the data is saved again. Now, the reason why I say that you need to make sure how you leave the field, okay? So let's just say that you were working on the name field and by mistake you stumble upon the field and you know something else has been typed over here and you do not remember what the name was, right? So now if I tab out of the field, this name that has been typed right now will be saved. But till the time that I have not tabbed out of the field, I can still get back the old name or the old record that I was working with. All right. So let's say if I click on escape, then you will see that it jumps back to Iron Debris. That means it undoes the changes, right? But if I would have gone out of the field, then you would see that the this particular name, which is the wrong one, is committed. So I basically have to remember what the name was, or else it is actually saved now. All right, but luckily I had copied it, so let me just put that back and make sure the changes were reverted back. Okay, now when you want to edit a record and specify different things in different fields, you also need to know what are the different types of fields and how you can edit them, right? So there are different types of fields in Business Central that store different kinds of information. All right. And let's just discuss some of the common ones. So the one that we were working on was the name field, and these type of fields are text fields. So basically, you can type in anything. So there is no validation to it. So basically, you can type alpha numeric characters over here. So I can enter anything and any text. However, in these type of fields, there is generally a limit to the number of characters that you can enter in the text field. All right. So let's just say if I'm entering some letters or characters over here, you see that it has reached its limit, right? So there is always a specific limit to the text field. So if we just go back and just delete this. Now there is another type of field. For example, over here you see the type field. Now these are called option fields. Now these fields are where you can have, again, you can choose from a predefined list of options, such as the type of contact. You can define it as a company or a person, but you cannot add or change the options in the option field. So the list over here, right now this one shows two. There can be, let's say, three or four or five, but whatever that is, it's always a fixed or defined list of options that you can choose from. Now another type of field are called lookup fields. So for example, if you see company name over here, so these are the fields where you can select a value from a background table, such as the company name of the contact. And if you do not want to scroll and you sort of remember what the company name is, you can even start typing the company name, and then the list will be filtered and show you the exact company name that you're looking for. Okay. So, for example, if I want to type in, let's say, Nod Publishers, so you see that I'm not even typed the whole name, but the system has searched based on the keyword, and then it suggests the names that are similar. So the better your keyword is, the better the search result would be as well. All right. So if I just escape, I will go back to my original company name here. So for more example, let me just click on show more over here so that I get some more fields. So another type of field are called Boolean fields. So the things that you see over here with the toggle buttons, these are the Boolean fields. So these are the fields that have only two values, which is yes or no. So for example, right now, the exclude from segment is a no, and if I select it, it will be yes. All right. So there are only two options over here, which is yes or no. So these kind of fields are called Boolean fields. They are represented by either checkboxes or these toggle buttons, and you can basically toggle them or check or uncheck them to indicate your choice. Now, another type of field are validation fields. Now, these are the fields that check the format of the data you enter. So you can't just enter anything. There's a particular format that they're expecting, and they will have a validations for that. So for an example, there are email address fields. Okay, so if we go to communication over here, and we can see the email over here, right? So let's say I provide a bad email address, right? And tab out, then you will see that there is a validation message. So it will say that, based on whatever the validation is, it will give you an error message denoting that you cannot proceed further unless you correct this error. So basically, it's expecting a certain format. So if I give a proper format of the email, and if I tab out now, then you will see the error is gone. So basically, if you enter an invalid value, the system will give you an error message and prevent you from saving the data. Now, there are also other types of fields such as integer fields and decimal fields, which store numbers with or without decimal places. You will find them in other parts of the system, such as price fields or items. So we will look at them as and when we come onto those examples. All right, so let's just say that I and Debris changed the company to Alpine Ski House, and now the address should also be changed. So while we are on the communication area, why don't we go ahead and change the address as well? Okay, so to change the existing address, what we can do is we can just go to these text fields and then start changing the address. So let's just say the new address is 304 George Street, and There is no address too. The country region code is, let's say, Australia, and the postcode is, and the postcode is this. And you will see that as soon as you type the postcode, it will give you a list of the postcodes that you can select from. So basically, there can be multiple postcodes here in Australia for different regions. So we can select the right city for the same postcode. And as soon as you click on OK, you will see that the country and the city is automatically selected based on the configuration of the postcode. And since Anne Debris has changed the company, the email has also changed. So let's just go ahead and change the email address. And it should be Alpine Ski House. If I tab out, well, again, there was a validation error message. So I can either correct the error message here and tab out, or I can refresh the page by clicking on F5. All right. So if I click on refresh, you will see that the error message is now gone. So that's how you can change or edit the address part or the communication part of an existing contact. Now, let's just go ahead and see how we can create a new contact. Okay. Now, to be able to create a new contact, as I said over here at the top, you will find the button create new entry. So you can click over here, or if you are on the contact list, will be a button called new contact, and then you can create a new entry from there as well. Okay. So for now, let's just click on this create new entry. And what you will see over here is that we have a blank form. That means we do not have any data yet that we have entered. You can see that it just says contact card. It does not provide you any name or anything, because this is just a blank form. And you will notice that the cursor automatically is blinking at the number field. And this number field is the primary key field. So for any record or for any contact that we create, the system will not identify that record with its name or description. It will identify by its ID. That is the unique number that the system generates. Okay. So if I tab out of this field, and notice that carefully, if I tab out of this field, then the system will automatically save the data. So that means if it is saving the record, it has to generate that ID, right? So if I tab out, you will notice then that an ID field is generated. So now we actually have a record. We have not provided any other details yet, but we have a record because an ID has been generated. So if I go back and go to the contact list, you will see that the ID over here is being generated. However, we do not have anything else that has been specified. Now, as I showed you, you could create the new contact. If you're already on an existing contact, you can click on the new button and create a new contact. However, if you're on the list page, you can also do that with this new button over here. Okay. Now, let's just go to the contact that we created. That is the blank contact that we created. All right, so let's just start filling up the details. And here I will provide my name because I want to create a contact on my name, and then tab out. And then you will see that the name is committed. And also it automatically populates some other fields like the search name, right? Now, the type of the contact, a contact can be a company or a person. So obviously right now over here, I'm a person. So I will specify that. So I can also provide a salutation code over here. I can specify or select from an existing list. So over here, I can say male, married, or unmarried. So this is my salutation. And I can specify some other fields as well. All right. Now, if I come on to my address, you will see that the address is not filled in yet, right? But if I say that I am part of a company, so let's just say I'm part of Alpine Ski House, then you will see that the address is automatically filled in because it knows that I'm part of this company, and from that company details, it has automatically taken the address. But I can obviously go ahead and overwrite this address if I want. So with this, I have created a new contact called Paresh Sharma with some very basic details. And when you're done, you can close the contact card by clicking on this back arrow. and then you will see that a new contact is created or modified in the contact list over here. So that's it for this lecture. You have learned how you can edit and create contacts in Business Central. You have also learned about different types of fields, how the system saves the data, and how to avoid errors. Now, what I suggest is that you practice creating and editing some contacts in the system and see how it works. In the next lecture, we will look at how to find the data you have entered. I hope you enjoyed this lecture, and I will see you in the next lecture.